All right, guys. So I want to tell you, if you're thinking about selling your house, there's a good chance that you're focusing on the wrong number. Because the only number that a seller should be concerned with is the net to seller. Everything else is how we got there. And here's what I mean. When you're looking at an offer that comes in, this is independent of any specific terms that are important to that seller, which could be any number of things. But when it comes to the numbers, the only number that should matter is the net to seller. So what is a net to seller? Well, the net to seller is what gets deposited into the seller's account at the end of the transaction. And that's after any concessions, any commissions paid, anything like that, what the seller gets, which should be the only concern. What's kind of on top of my head is even 2 years after the Clear Cooperation lawsuit, then there's been this kind of, who's supposed to pay the buyer's commission? I really think we really need to reframe that. I've gotten responses from sellers that, my seller doesn't want to pay any commission. Or, my seller's only willing to pay 1% of the commission. Well, what does that matter to the seller? Whatever the commission that the buyer's agent is including in their offer, is that net to seller the highest number? Because if so, that's the best offer. And I think as listing agents, we need to do a much better job of educating our sellers on what is a good offer. Because people have these things in their head, I'm not paying that. Well, what if you're getting the most money by paying that? So, and this goes into buyer sellers, just what I've been talking about all the time as far as being prepared, going into situations, knowing what could happen, knowing what paths you might take in certain situations. And yeah, I just think that's super important, educating the sellers, educating the buyers on what makes a good offer. And if it's close, that's when you might be a negotiation if there's multiple offer situations or something like that. But as far as an offer comes in, and does it satisfy your terms, and what's the net to seller?